Pretty unexpected sequel announcement.
Yeah.
Samaritan 2 is in the works from
Hmm.
Amazon and MGM. This is an exclusive to the Hollywood Reporter. Let's check this out.
It was all part of the plan. I don't know what you're talking about.
So Amazon MGM Studios is going back for Superhero Seconds. The streamer is developing a sequel to Samaritan. It's 2022 action movie starring Sylvester Stallone and has hired Braggy F. Shute to pen the script. Shute also wrote the first movie, so returning basically. Stallone is going to be returning as producer, as is his Balboa Productions partner, Braden Aftergood. Stallone is also reprising his role with a deal made prior to the actor's strike. So Samaritan, for those that didn't know, was directed by Julius Avery, told of a young boy who's saved from a beating by a sanitation worker. The boy comes to believe that the older man is a superhero who disappeared 20 years earlier after an epic battle with his arch nemesis. The movie, which premiered exclusively on Prime Video on August 26, 2022, so last year, which is crazy to think now, in more than 240 countries. It's crazy. And territories worldwide, overperformed for the company and was the #1 film on the service for 3 consecutive weeks, according to Amazon. So Shute wrote the first script on spec, and it gathered interest from several production shops before being set up at Balboa and MGM. Shute will act as executive producer along with Adam Rosenberg. If the sequel to Samaritan does take off, it would mark the second original franchise for the scribe. Shute wrote the 2019 thriller Escape Room, which also has a sequel. So Shute also was the writer of The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Less said about that, probably the better from some people, which took a 20-year journey from spec script to the screen and was released by Universal, blah, 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 blah. I'm really excited about this. I like this film. This was good. This was like I don't know. It felt like an old school throwback. But
I loved it. I loved it a lot. It was one of my favorites last year, and you're right. It felt the same way to me, like something out of the 90s, like a movie Sly would have made right after Demolition Man, right? Like right in that same era. And it was brilliant. It was a much better version of the same story that Black Adam told a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
I thought it was much better executed. Sure, there was some stuff near the end where I'm just like, huh? But like, whatever. I didn't care at that point. It had me completely on board. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't remember. Did you see it, Culture? I don't remember if Andre did or not. But
yeah, I thought
I haven't seen it yet. No.
I thought it was very good. Said as much. You and I actually talked about it before. I think it gives you a real insight into what it would be like as a superhero confronted with that. Not to mention the fact that the kid that was in it was brilliant. They did a really good job with the film. So
you know what I really liked about this is the overarching sort of take-home theme of the film is try and be good. Not everyone's perfect. Not everyone's good, but we can be better. Right. Great. Perfect. That's a great message for everyone. No one's perfect, but try and be better. What a great message. What a great wholesome message for anyone to hear. None of this politically motivated garbage, grander, dumb message, notice, all this, schlock-filled shite. Literally just, not everyone's perfect, not everyone, but we try to be better. Because that's, that's what we do day by day. We try to be better. We try to do good things. I really like this film. Nick?
Yeah.
You want to say stuff, bud?
Yeah, I absolutely. So I actually didn't really know anything about this film until I heard Tom talking about it on Midnight's Edge. And I went and checked it out that same night, and I absolutely loved it. I'm excited to see the sequel to this movie. Just like you were saying, this has got just a good positive message all the way around for everybody, and it's just a good, fun popcorn flick. Is it winning any Oscars or anything? No. Is it the greatest movie I've ever seen? No. But it is a damn good movie from start to finish.
Yeah, and I think you're right, and I think you and Tom are both onto something because it does feel like a throwback. It really does.
Yeah, it does. 100%.
Yeah. You could line this up with, Tom said Demolition Man. You could line it up with all manner of those movies from Sly's heyday era, and it would just fit in fine. You could do a movie marathon and of all of his classics and put this in there as well.
Yeah.
And it would absolutely marry up fine.
Yep.
You know, it wouldn't be majorly out of place. It would work.
In an alternate
would
universe, he made this movie at the same time instead of Judge Dredd. See, and that's what
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I like this film. It was good. Again, as you say, Nick, is it going to break any records? No. Although apparently, according to Amazon, I mean, it literally was their number one for 3 consecutive weeks, which is pretty impressive. And that's a figure which I'm inclined to believe because they're paying for a sequel. You know, whereas you know, and this is a good thing for Shoot as well, the writer and the writer basically, because he did the first one on spec, was obviously picked up. And now they've obviously come to him to negotiate, you know, a sort of a sequel deal. He'll be getting paid a substantial amount of money for that, I think, just because the first one was shopped around so much on spec. This one now being there, unless there was something in the initial deal, they have to write another one, but I doubt it.
No, that's usually not the case. And most of the time, those contracts go one way.
Almost always. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they can bring you back, but if they don't want to use you, they don't have to.
Yeah, made versus unmade is the other part of those deals too.
So where do we think this is going to go then? Where do we think
story-wise? I have no idea. I think it'll be interesting to see though.
Yeah,
because I mean, do we give a spoiler warning for a movie that was out a year ago?
Well, I mean, I think it's new enough that we. Yeah, I was going to say,
watch it genuinely for the next 2 minutes. Just mute the microphone, and when I do this, you can unmute it. We're going to talk some spoilers, so mute the microphone. Where do we think it's going to go at the end?
I think the sequel's going to be. I think it's going to have some fun with the kid trying to teach him how to be a superhero, and it'll kind of have a little fish out of water element to it in that respect. Like he'll do stuff like kind of like a not quite Hancock, but you know what I mean. Like he'll keep trying to do the right things, but something will piss him off, or he'll do something the way he always used to, and the kid will be like, "You can't do that," or whatever. You know, like that kind of stuff. You know, it's like, well, you had a gun. He's like, you still couldn't twist his head off. Well, you had it coming. You know.
Yeah. Well, I would like this to be him going from city to city because he's left that city seemingly, hasn't he? So I'd like to see him. Yeah, I'd like to see him go to a different city and start making a difference elsewhere. I think if they keep it with the same child, I think that'll be they're drawing the universe, they're narrowing the universe, and they don't
probably another reason why they're rushing it. So because he's already going to be like 2 years old by the time they start 2 years older by the time they start shooting.
I think the movie is going to have a very interesting ending, sort of like the first one. I think it's going to end with whatever they end up doing. I think it's going to end with him dying, but it's going to be left open-ended to where he could possibly still be alive. Just so if this one does really good as well, they can do a third and final one. You know?
Oh, you know what might happen, Nick? That you just made me think of something. They might have it to where his brother also faked his death.
Oh yeah, that's
and now you have a flip reversal role, and
because
yeah,
he's come back and it's in the press.
Yeah.
Right? So and then he comes out of hiding because he's like, oh my god, my brother's actually been good.
Yeah, the bad brother ends up staying good, and then the good brother is now the bad guy. You know?
Yeah, I can see that.
Could be good. That could be good fun. Anyway,
tons of interesting things that they could do with this.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm intrigued to see what they do with it. I can't wait to hear what Andre thinks of the original because I feel like he might enjoy it.
I think he'll like it.
And I love Sly. Everything he's doing in his older age is way better than anything Schwarzenegger's doing in his older age.
Yeah, you're completely right there. Well, there you go, ladies and gents. Samaritan. What a great, lovely, nice, good topic to cover today.
Yeah. If you guys have not seen the original movie, definitely go watch it. It is worth watching 100%.
Well, I hope Amazon releases it on video eventually. It'd be nice.
Yeah. And for people who say we don't actually cover things that we like or talk about things that we like, you have a perfect example right there.